right, more legal talkers. Jilted Super Bowl fans sue the NFL. A company reaches a settlement with a worker that it fired over a Facebook posting. And one state proposes lighter charges to curb sexting. Let's get a check with our legal guys again. Civil rights attorney Avery Freeman, criminal defense attorney Richard Herman. All right, good to see you guys. Let's hear from these hot, angry fans at the Super Bowl.
No seats. They don't even have my row, let alone the section we're supposed to be in.
We paid thousands of dollars and faced the weather just to get down here, and now this is how they're treating us.
Oh, they are upset. So about 400 fans who purchased their tickets, as you heard from them, purchased tickets to be in the Cowboys Stadium for the big game, and then apparently those seats were not finished being constructed yet. Now the NFL, Jerry Jones, Cowboys Stadium, they all offered some incentives like face value of your ticket times 3, but these fans say no, not enough. Avery, they want to sue, and they're suing for a quite handsome sum of what, $5 million?
$5 million, yeah. Well, there are two classes of plaintiffs here.
Yeah.
Well, there are two classes. Okay. Those people that were, came from Pittsburgh and came from Green Bay. That case is going to resolve easily. The harder one are the folks with PSLs that spent $100,000, and they didn't have a place to put their well-to-do keisters.
Wow.
Yeah, $100,000 for those seats. They had to put it on the cold steel seats. Ooh, ah. And so what they're doing is they're actually seeking fraud and deceit damages. That will ultimately resolve. That's the more serious of the two cases.
Oh, my goodness.
Apparently.
So, Richard, do you see this going anywhere? Or, do the NFL, Jerry Jones, Cowboys handle it well and say, look, we're sorry. Here's some incentive?
Well, Jerry Wayne Jones created a little problem here, offering the finest sight lines in the stadium. It was all in his zeal to break the Super Bowl attendance record. He tried to bring in as many people in as he could. These were fold-up chairs, Avery. They were part of the seating was condemned by the building department because it was not safe. Right. So there's a problem. But Fred, in the end, good luck finding a jury in Dallas who's going to hurt the Cowboys. I don't see that ever happening.
Love those Cowboys. They love that Jerry Jones.
In the end.
In the end, so it's going to be very costly getting to the end. All right, let's talk about this Facebook firing settlement. This was an employee who was very upset with her boss. She writes something not very flattering on her Facebook page, and her company says, okay, you're gone, you're fired, you're out of here. And so she tries to sue, saying, wait, what about freedom of speech? Avery, where does this go? And there is a settlement in the end, but did she have a good claim, a good argument that freedom of speech, she should have been able to say what she wanted on the public domain of Facebook?
Well, this would have been a precedent-setting radical decision that won't happen because of the settlement. The argument is that she had free speech. Well, the First Amendment doesn't protect speech in the private setting, but what would have come out of this, and this is a huge deal, that under the National Labor Relations Act, co-workers can talk about management. And the NLRB was about to rule in the employee's favor concerning the use of social media retaliation, but the case settled. So we're going to have to wait for another day to see if a precedent is going to be set with this.
So, Avery, what you don't get to see is Richard shaking his head as I'm watching. It's making me laugh. You are in total disagreement here.
I'm not in disagreement, Fred, but, let's be realistic. In this day and age, it's hard enough to get a job. She works for an ambulance company, and she's bad-mouthing everybody at the company on the internet, on Facebook. So technically, the company had a very broad policy of blogging, so it was their fault. They're going to tighten that policy up. If you badmouth your employer and you keep doing it in the office or outside on the internet, down the road, your future's bleak with this company. She's going to get fired down the road. It's going to be for cause, and she's going to lose this job. That's what's going to happen here.
So note to self, don't try to disparage your company or your employer online, on Facebook, anywhere, right? Who wants to go to court over it? All right, so now let's talk about back to Texas, where, you don't want to mess with Texas.
Here we go.
Here we go. So now you're a kid under the age of 18 and you sexed. Well, before you might have been facing some tougher penalties, and now apparently they want to make lighter sentences, not tougher ones. How in the world is that going to help? What's the psychology here, Richard?
It's a good move, Fred. You know,
Why?
if you were in possession of child pornography, or you sent it via the internet, that would be trafficking. Those were felonies. You would go to prison for that. You would get on a felony sex offender registry. It would haunt you for the rest of your life. These are kids being kids. What Texas has said is we're not going to ruin their lives with felony convictions. We're going to give them one shot. Come in, it's going to be a misdemeanor. You're going to get counseling. You're going to get the finger pointing. Don't ever do this again.
So they're
And
going to get educated.
educated with their
With the
parents, by the
parents.
way, with the parent. And then hopefully it will prevent this from happening.
You're not buying this. Avery, you're shaking your head.
I am not. I am not. I think there has to be an effort to protect children against zealous prosecutors who want to hurt them by charging them with felonies, getting them convicted as predators. Bottom line is this legislation is fraught with constitutional deficiencies.
Yeah?
Not only is the kid charged with a crime, but a parent is charged with a crime. Clearly unconstitutional. Look, the concept is right. The legislators back in Austin are going to have to get together, rewrite this thing so that it passes constitutionality. Good idea, bad execution. Let's go back and do it again.
All right. Avery, Richard, thanks so much. We always learn so much when you guys join us. Avery, Richard, appreciate it.
All the best.
All the best. See you
Okay,
next
see you later.
time.
Have a great weekend.
All right. A lot of folks have been weighing in on all that's been taking place in Egypt, including fashion icon Iman. She spent part of her childhood in Egypt.